Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a little slow lately with the lack of new releases, but we are finally here again, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Leader Class Constructicon Overload.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. Overload is number 66 in Studio Series, and he is the 8th and final member to be released of the Constructicons, which, as you know, all 4 of them joined together to create Devastator. So naturally, that'll be my next review. So I've been waiting a while for this guy. Online, he's not scheduled to ship until October, but they're starting to get him in stores now, Walmart's, Target, so imagine pick him up from my local Target. He was street dated, but they were nice enough to let me have him anyway. And yeah, I mean, this is exciting. This is what, like a year and a half in the making to build this combiner, which it's gotta be some kind of record, right?
I'm so excited though.
He is so excited, and I'm excited too. So yeah, you know, if you've seen my reviews before, you know how this goes. We're gonna take a look at Overload's packaging, open him up, we'll see his instructions, his backdrop, and we'll see Overload himself in both his vehicle and robot modes. I'll probably do at least a group shot or two with the other Constructicons, and then of course at the end of the video, I'll give my final thoughts. If you are looking to see his combined mode or Devastator, well, just hold tight. That's gonna be a separate video because it's gonna be a long one. So, you know, keep that in mind. So Overload, he comes in your standard liter-sized packaging, big old box, and you got our big chunky boy in the front here.
And his head is huge.
His head is huge.
Yeah.
Well, his breastbone was definitely huge, that's for sure. I mean, he's big, and I like that. You know, if I'm gonna pay $50 for a toy, I want it to be a big toy. You can see down here in the corner, he comes with that little accessory that forms Devastator's like neck grinder assembly thing. I think they call it the Vortex grinder, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, looking good. Close up of his face, and apparently he's got 3 eyes. Pretty cool. And here on the back, you have the renders, and you can see him with his arms fully all stretched out and everything, and he is, you know, a 4-armed Goro-like monster.
Yep.
And here he turns into some kind of a flatbed hauler. I don't know the actual name of it. And you can see he can haul that Vortex grinder piece, which is cool. Takes 34 steps to transform, so pretty complex transformation. So I always like that, as long as the transformation's good.
Yeah.
You can see his backdrop right here, which is the same old pyramid battle that they all come with, which is a shame, but that's what they went with. And on the side, you just get your render of Devastator, which is not actually accurate to the finished product. And you got the cool Devastator symbol here at the top. Okay, here we have Overload's instructions, and you can see they're quite tall. They barely fit in frame here. And got a little visitor. So you go ahead, open these all the way up. Now they're too tall to fit in the frame. But you can see it's just the transformation from robot to vehicle mode. And it shows you how to attach that little barrel thing with the grinder piece to the back of his bed. Which, by the way, this vehicle mode is apparently called an articulated dump truck, according to the wiki, though there's no hole in the bed of the truck, so it's not a very good dump truck. It's more like a flatbed, if anything. Then this transformation goes from the vehicle mode to the combiner configuration, which makes up like the lower torso and upper legs of Devastator. This shows what part he forms the Devastator, and then you even have instructions that kind of sum up what we've seen on the others of how to put everything together. And you get your finished product, which I'm looking forward to. Also, side note, I know I said Devastator was coming right after this review, but I actually just got Skipjack while filming this, so it's going to be this guy, Skipjack, and then Devastator, so I can have a properly colored Devastator. Just a little FYI there. Alright, here we have the vehicle mode, and quick aside, just want to point out, joining me for this is my oldest son as well.
No cube.
Yeah, it goes by No Q on YouTube, so check him out if you want to, especially if you're a kid or have kids. So anyway, this is the supposed articulated dump truck. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look like a vehicle to me. This looks like a big mess of robot parts with wheels and like a cockpit section. It's, in my opinion, the weakest alternate mode out of all the Constructicons, which is unfortunate because everything else about this guy is awesome. You know, when you show off his robot mode, you guys are going to be pretty impressed. So, you know, criticisms aside, it rolls very well, so that's good. Sometimes the front wheels won't contact because they're just lifted up a little bit, but it does roll. It doesn't seem, I can't tell if this part drags or not. Maybe a little bit, depending on the surface. Like I said, here's the bed of the truck, which is just a flat surface. It makes no sense. There's the vortex grinder just kind of chilling there. And the way this connects is it has these tabs with little like outward pointing hooks, and they just kind of hook in there, but it's not very tight. Like it's enough to get it to stay, but not so much to where you gotta use much force. Just kind of give it a little squeeze maybe. So that's good. It is in there nice and securely as long as you have the two halves of the bed, you know, pushed together. Also, I noticed this weirdness here where it's like, I don't know what's going on here. You know, you got like some part kind of extends out this way. This part looks like it just like bends in at a 90. It's very asymmetrical. It's showing it off. This detailing here, I think, is primarily supposed to be for Devastator. And I think, let me see if I get some light shine directly in there. I think right here is like some mold flash. I'm pretty sure all that red is not supposed to be in there. So I may like scrape that out. And it looks like it's supposed to be a 5mm port, though I can't see any place where anything plugs into that, but we'll see. Actually, that might be where you store Rampage's little stand. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll learn together. All right, so yeah, you know, the vehicle, it is what it is. It's just a brick with wheels, basically. But it rolls well, the cockpit's nice, and it gives you somewhere to put this thing.
It kind of reminds me of the Dark of the Moon toys a bit.
Yep.
How so?
Because it's a bit plain, but also kind of complex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you say so, I guess. Okay, time for the transformation. If you haven't already, just remove that neck piece and just set it out of the way. My son's just going to take it upon himself to grab the toy. I'll take that back. Thank you. All right, so first thing you want to do, you're going to lower this front section. So all this is like one piece that's up top. You want to detach it like so. Just kind of bring this down out of the way. These wheels here, you're going to lift them up. Just kind of put them out to the side. All right, you see this? This like clicks forward. So you want it forward, like so. Flip all this up. Forms the head. You're gonna take these wheels, unplug them, because they plug into this little slot here, and just kind of rotate them up, out of the way. All right, so now you got the wheels out of the way. Rotate the feet into a normal position. Flip these panels up on the sides here, like so. And then you're gonna take his little like back toes and flip them out. And there goes my youngest. I guess he got bored. All right, these little bits kind of come out to form the knees. I think, let's see. Yeah, okay. So, see these like slots, your mushroom pegs. These wheel pieces are gonna come up and kind of like, tab onto those. I think, maybe. Yeah, okay, I see. So it's like a clip that grabs the edge of that. So there you go. It's nice and secure. All right, now we're going up here. Separate the bed of the truck. And these are gonna come down. Take some force, but they'll click into place like this. Rotate these around like so. All right, so you're gonna take this, pull it off, slide it over toward the middle. You're gonna bring this first part up. Bring this in until this tab goes into this part on his back. Plug in there nice and securely. Use this little notch to flip this thing out. It becomes like his little, I don't know, back stinger ornament looking thing. Okay, now I want to take these arms, these pieces, just kind of fold them down and out of the way. Then you're going to take these ones, which are plugged in up here, like 5mm port. Kind of pull them out around like so. Do the same thing here. Kind of separate it. Trying to pull on the fingers because they're pretty small and soft when you damage them. Okay. Now here, I'm gonna lift these parts up, these halves, like so. Now you just want to, there we go, drop these down. So that'll put his arms in like more natural position. Got his claws. I'm gonna rotate these here. This mushroom peg where the gray meets the red. All right, and that's how you get his arms going. Bring this down, rotate, and just pose, however you want. Doesn't matter. Any different variation of this will work. You can lift them up more, do this, that, whatever you need to. And lastly, you just want to fold these back. You're gonna take a little accessory, and he's got storage for it. Now the instructions do not show you this. They don't show you how to store this on the back, but at this clip here. So I don't know if it goes this way or that way, but I'm going to assume it goes this way just because you can swing this down further in that configuration, make it stick out less. So I'm going to go with that. And here we go. Look at this bad boy. This guy is really cool looking, like if Goro from Mortal Kombat was a Transformer. His arms are very articulated. They move in multiple ways. Lots of hinges, swivels, all that. These little claws, they do kind of move back and forth at the wrist, so that's cool. And I already showed you how his shoulders are on these multiple ratchets. Moves around every which way. His head is on a ball joint, and it's kind of tight, but you can definitely move it around, make him look in different directions. I don't think he's got any kind of waist swivel, does he? No. Wouldn't expect him to. The legs are like universal joints, up, down, left, in and out. He's got single bend at the knees, and then he has ankle tilt, which is awesome. Something that is missing a lot of studio series is that ankle tilt, and they seem to be getting better about that, so that's good. So here he is. He doesn't come with any kind of weapons, but I mean, I don't know if he really needs them. He is just so cool looking, and he's kind of his own walking armory. Get it? Armory. God, I'm so funny. So, yeah, I absolutely love this. This is definitely one of my favorite robot modes, which really helps make up for the fact that I absolutely hate his vehicle mode. It's like the most foamed in construction vehicle I've ever seen. What do you think, bud?
Good.
Oh, you think it's good? All right, what do you think, older bud?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
The head is tilted.
Yeah.
Well, I did that. I'm just posing it. You can move it around. It's on a ball joint.
I like that there are these joints over here where you can move.
He talks with his hands like this.
And not like these.
That's our Italian side right there.
I got it. I like how they added the tires in different parts instead of just like 1,000 on the leg, using 1,000 on the arms. I like how they just evened it out, like one for each arm, one for each leg, and two for the back.
Yeah, I like that he doesn't have 1,000 wheels anywhere too.
It's my turn.
That would defy physics.
And
It's your turn? Okay.
And I like this part, stuff, and I like this wheel.
Okay, well, there we go. You heard it here, folks. He likes those things in that wheel. All right, so, yeah, I mean, this dude, for what he is just fantastic in robot mode. He is so beefy. He's not very tall, but he is very wide, and he's hefty, too. He's one of the heaviest leaders I've handled in a while in both Studio Series or,
Let me see.
Greater Generations.
It's not heavy.
Oh, well, okay. It's not heavy, guys.
Yeah, it's not heavy.
For a leader class. I'm not saying he weighs 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
'Cause we got like Captain Literal in his first mate over here. All right, obligatory group shot of all of our current Constructicons. You'll notice Skipjack's not here yet because he's not open yet. But don't worry, we'll do one last group shot when I review Skipjack. So, yeah, I mean, here's more or less the full team. And, you could swap out Rampage for Skipjack, whatever. But, here we are, right? It's a year and a half, and how much? Like $250 later, something like that? It's a lot. So, this has been well worth the wait, I think, to finally see them all together. Of course, we'll know for sure once we actually build Devastator here in a little bit. But I love the variety of these guys, the different shapes, how some of them are very humanoid, some of them are very animalistic, and then some are very, fantastical in nature, or just don't really look like much of anything we're used to. I think it's been a wild ride with these Constructicons, and I really see Overload as kind of like, the cherry on top, because he is just so cool. I do wish there was a little more variety in their color schemes, or more unity. Kind of one or the other, right? Because we got about 4 different colors between them, but most of them are either red or yellow. So I kind of wish they would have been like all different or all the same, not somewhere in between. But it's fine. It's a minor nitpick, and of course,
Hi.
this is striving to be movie accurate. So the groundwork's already there. It was going to be these colors from the get-go. But I think it's just very satisfying to be able to get a look at this full group shot. Okay, here we have our backdrop, and you might be wondering why I'm showing it so late in the review. Well, it's definitely not because I almost forgot to show it, because I don't do that. In fact, you guys almost forgot, so there. But, I'll forgive you this time. So anyway, same old pyramid scene, that all of them have, unfortunately. I don't know why they couldn't have done this up like some sort of diorama where you could do a side-by-side for Devastator, but it is what it is. You can see the shadow of Devastator looming in the background, which is pretty cool. Though, of course, it doesn't make sense when you go ahead and put this guy on here. And he's not going to be easy to get on because he's really big. And he's just... It's going to be really hard to pose him in a way to where he's not getting in the way of this backdrop. He's kind of pushing back right now. Let's see, I might be able to minimize it by removing that vortex doohickey. There you go. That's something. Doesn't push it back as hard. So, it works, but just barely. Definitely doesn't work for his vehicle mode because it's way too long. And we just kind of push these all the way back, and then you have balance issues. But it works for him. And overall, it makes for a good display piece. So now, we've looked at Overload in both of his modes, we've done the group shot, looked at the background. So it comes down to our final thoughts. So for me, again, aside from the very shoddy vehicle mode, I think this guy is fantastic. He's got such a great robot mode. All of his joints are, nice and sturdy. Like his ratchet joints are very strong, which they're going to need to be because they're going to be holding up a lot of weight in, combined mode. I also like the fact that he's one of the bulkiest leaders I've handled in quite some time. Again, despite not being very tall, he has a lot of mass to him, and one of the heavier leaders I've picked up in the last year or two, so that's good. A little bit of a return to form here. I do like the fact that his little vortex grinder thingy for Devastator, it can actually be attached to him in both of his modes, so that's nice. It's not just something that's cast aside. And overall, just the presentation, everything for him is great. What do my sons think?
My final sauce is this.
What?
My final sauce is these.
His final thoughts is these, guys.
And even this.
And even that.
And even all of these.
The whole thing is his final thoughts. Well, here. Well said. High five. Boom, that was very eloquent. All right, oldest son, hopefully you can muster a little better than that.
I like the layering of the paint on the arms and legs.
Okay, cool. So, you've heard what we all think. More importantly, it's time to know what you, the audience, think. Do you find this guy to be as good as I do? Are there things about him you would change? I mean, for me personally, it'd be a better vehicle mode, but, do you plan on picking him up? Do you think he's worth $50? Any and all feedback's always welcome in the comment section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to toss it a like, let YouTube know you want to see more stuff like this. If you do want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. I thank you for joining me for this very cool look at a very cool Constructicon known as Overload. Stay tuned for Skipjack and then Devastator. And with all that said, I will see you
Next time.